Good afternoon, everyone, to our lovely professors, Dr. Benji Floor, and to the rest of the lovely professors around this room, to my classmates online, and some of you I don't know in face, but it's my pleasure to be with us or be with me this afternoon on my thesis proposals, which is via online. Well, my thesis proposal or my research proposal this afternoon is entitled LBS-2 System, a mobile app and a communication advocacy project, case studies of OFW's development deployed in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So the agenda of my presentation this afternoon starts by, of course, the introduction, the objectives of the study, theoretical framework of the study, conceptual framework of the study, research methodology, and of course, review of related literature. And on the last portion before I end my presentations, I pop up or I include some slides of the existing system that is already working, and the Patnubay Advocacy Group and the development communication practitioners here in Saudi Arabia try to customize just to fit the needs of the OFWs here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So let's get started. So the agenda for today's presentation will cover from the introduction, the objectives of the study, theoretical framework of the study, conceptual framework of the study, research methodology, review of related literature. Now we start on the introduction. The research is part of the broader research project on OFW's advocacy through the Center for Migration Advocacy Philippines and its partner Patnubay Advocacy Group based in Saudi Arabia. LBS Field Assist System is a mobile app developed by LBS Recruitment Solutions Corporations, a local or it's a recruitment agency which exports manpower all around the globe or all around the world, which is based in the Philippines. The Center for Migrant Advocacy Philippines or CMA Philippines is an advocacy group that promotes rights of overseas Filipinos, land and sea-based migrant workers, and their families. The center works to help improve economic, social, and political conditions of migrant Filipinos. And the Patnubay Advocacy Group is a CMA partner based in Saudi Arabia. The group promotes volunteerism and servant leadership. Patnubay Group facilitate OFW empowerment of distressed OFWs by providing seminars, house-to-house visits, forums, and through the use of social networking sites such as Facebook and Twitter. Assist in handling OFW cases that bridge in between embassies, consulates, and some other government agencies. LBS Field Assist System was pioneered by LBS Recruitment Solutions, and it was piloted to answer the needs of migrant workers and crisis preparedness. Adapt to comply the POA Memorandum Circular Number 5, the contingency plan and guidelines of migrant in countries of crisis initiative under the UN. The app has a web-based tracking system that includes location, detailed of OFWs, passport number, POA OEC, photo, and shows the systems when it was last accessed. The app uses Google Maps geolocation technology, which includes history location, to locate migrant workers with real-time information on key emergency available, together with Patnubay Online Group and the LBS Recruitment Agency. The app will launch to increase accessibility of OFWs around the kingdom. Saudi Arabia is a very interesting case study for this research, as this country has the highest number of cases of OFWs abuses, especially household workers. In line with the migration policy, hashtag OFW rights, the research project aims to investigate how the Patnubay Advocacy Group, through lobbying and the Saudi labor government, Philippine Embassy, its network of accredited organizations, and helping and educating distressed OFWs. The central questions on this research is, what has been the impact of LBS Phil Assist on the advocacy project of Patnubay Group and its development communication practitioner, and how it aids the Philippine Embassy, OWA, and the local accredited community leaders on its aim to double the effort in helping distressed OFWs and in the realization of Duterte migration policy. It forms me a sub-questions on how do we ensure safety of OFWs and OFW family through the use of mobile app, the LBS Field Assist. How to track information on conflicts and natural disasters and the potential impact on OFWs. How to collect and share information on OFWs subject to privacy, confidentiality, and the security and safety. How to empower OFWs to help themselves, their families, and communities in crisis happens. How to communicate effectively with the OFWs before a crisis. How to communicate OFWs during the crisis. Critical constructivist approach, arguing that there is no one objective. And as part of the introduction, theoretical perspective will guide me, will be my interpretative stand, and more specific social interactionisms. Cultural policy, political economy will be used and include semiotics and structures of advocacy and volunteerism approach. As part of my thesis, documentary analysis will be used, as well as participatory observation. Semi-structured interview will be used to explore opinions and stories, cases, and experiences. Now, going down to the objectives of the study. Saudi Arabia Vision 2030 represents a serious attempt to address a future in which oil plays less if a role in the kingdom's economy. This will drive the young Saudis to seek career because sooner government subsidies will be removed. The National Transformation Program 2020 addressed to replace all expatriates, including OFWs workers, in the government by the end of 2020. And Saudi Arabia is in the midst of an epic transformation which started with the crash of oil prices a few years ago. OFWs experienced changes in the government, with all fees and levies imposed on expats and dependents as well. It's an issue to spell the end of thousands of OFWs in the kingdom. The objectives of this research is to educate, extend awareness, broaden knowledge about OFWs through its local partner Dubai Advocacy Group, volunteers of development communication practitioners. In the case of issues of runaways, rape, unpaid salaries, it is also the objective of this research on how the advocacy group, through the aid of mobile app, to rescue and facilitate immediate help. The LBS Field Assist is a vehicle of OFW advocates and development communication practitioner to reach every OFWs in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to educate an aggressive information campaign
extend learning program to the financial literacy, and provide real-time informations on key emergencies. Now, let's talk about the theoretical framework of the study. Strategic relation approach focus on the rule of ideas, knowledge, and discourse is in the relations between agents will be used as part of the theoretical framework of the study. Political opportunity framework, or it as this influences the development of political impact on social movements. I'm going to use also the frame analysis to focus on the international ways in which the movement activist seeks to construct their self-presentations. And advocacy coalition framework will be used to explain the stability and change and policies. As part of my conceptual framework of the study, this research examines both internal and external factors that contributes or limits the research. This leads to the questions: what has been the impact of this LBS-2 field assist systems, a mobile app and communication advocacy project to YFWs deployed by LBS recruitment agencies, Solutions Corporation in Saudi Arabia as part of the Pioneer um, project, and it's pioneered by this recruitment agency. This form me as sub-questions, which starts: how do we ensure the safety of OFWs and OFW families through the use of mobile app, to the LBS Field Assist? How to track information on conflicts and natural disasters and potential impact on OFWs? How to collect and share information on OFWs subject to privacy, confidentiality, and security and safety? How to empower OFWs to help themselves, their families, and communities if crisis happens? How to communicate effectively with OFWs before a crisis? How to communicate to OFWs during a crisis? Variables in this research includes overseas Filipino workers, OFW families, household workers, community leaders and accredited organizations, Philippine Embassy officials, consulates, Polo OWA officers, POEA or the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration, the DOLI, which is the Department of Labor and Employment, the OPAP and the PSEI, volunteers and advocates, communication development practitioners, which is based locally here in Saudi Arabia. Now, on my research methodology, research is grounded in epistemological stand of constructivisms. On the theoretical perspective, the research is guided by the interpretative research. The front ways of collecting data or triangulation will draw a more complete picture of the success factors to cross-check my findings. So, part of the review of related literature, the Stop Child Porn PH is one of the app which is used in the Philippines. The OFW Watch is an app that developed by a former OFW. Now, there is a Colonna AM which is developed and released here in Saudi Arabia. It's like an app that released by Ministry of Information. So once there is an accident, you can locally report to the police and accredited agencies. The most need, and it's an app just to help aid the workers or the household workers. It includes it's in an application as well as a government agency released application. Now I'm going to walk through you to the screenshots of the LBS Field Assist system This was been pioneered when the crisis happened in Libya. Destroy and rescue its more than 197 OFWs from Libya, where it guided them to a safe place, and the rescue happens by the government officials. Here is the pattern of how the system works, and here is a screenshots of LBS2 file assist, which is like a mobile app version. And later on, I'm gonna give you the web application as well. I'm sorry, this is a web application interface, and later on we're gonna go with an LBS2 file assist, which is like a handy mobile app application. Next. Next, this is the next interface. It gives you the locations where is that particular OFW is located. And next, here is the mobile app interface. It goes. Next slide. Next slide, it includes the current positions, the location history. Next slide is the address locations of where that OFW is located. The airport button, so it gives you the nearest airport where you can go through. And next is the hospital button, where is, in case that there is some accident happens, where is the nearest location of the hospital. So, thank you very much.
So that concludes my thesis presentation or thesis proposal presentation this afternoon, and I would love to thank you, all of you, and I may welcome some questions and clarifications on this presentation. Thank you everyone, and thank you very much.